And it looks like we're live. It is Wednesday. It's time for some midweek geek. Chat's been a little subdued so far. We've only got Midu and Halakar saying hello at the moment. Oh, here's Lee as well. Hello, Lee. How are you doing? You're right. I don't think Elfbait's going to be able to join us, but he is simulcasting, simul-streaming us. Oh, just bear with me a moment. I just had to mute myself because I've got myself running in another window. That's so I could do that poll that should be at the top of chat at the moment. It was very confusing. I started talking in my own ear then, about 20 seconds behind. But no, Elfbait's got work, so he probably won't be able to join us. Bear's not jumping on other people's streams at the moment, so I don't think we'll have a Bear. I don't know if Mage. I saw Mage was on Discord earlier. Did he? Or is he busy still? I know he's been. He's had some other things he needs to do, and Saxius has had a bad day at work. So you're left with just me and the ginger beard. You lucky people.
Don't downplay it. This is the first time I've been on stream in ages.
I'm downplaying me for this one.
Yeah.
Gingerbeard is likely to come up with more off the wall imaginative stuff than I am, I think.
Don't say
You're shaking your head.
I haven't had that much to drink yet.
Oh, Nightbot is alive. Nightbot has just woken up. So there we go. I have put a poll up in chat because we are going to be creating scenario-y type things. So let's see how the poll gets on. Hello, Crafting Gamer. How are you? Looks like we've had 5 votes so far. Oh no! Oh right, yeah. Notice it says not sci-fi. If you vote for that one, it's my choice. I hope you understand that. But no, that's for the scenario we're hoping to create while we're online. Hello, Sailor Kip. Right, Gingerbeard.
Yes.
How's your gaming for last week been?
I mean, pretty depressing because all the games I play are on your server. But no, I'm underselling it. What do we do? Last week it was Gene running the early session, where my character would have died if Gene wasn't playing AD&D rules. And then you guys kept him alive, but he's horrifically burnt. And since he's got 1 hit point, he's basically just a party torchbearer. That's fine. Like a bit of mudcore. One day he might survive to be something great, or he'll just die next week. And then in the late session, we complete another floor of your Yule Christmas dungeon. And then we ventured into the outside, actually forcing you to expand your geographical area, which is very interesting. Looking forward to it. Yeah.
And you were saved, weren't you, effectively by the fact that the first time they had to roll morale, the wolves that a pack of wolves that attacked you failed their morale check and bolted.
Yeah, that was fortuitous, but I think I mentioned my character is about 100, 110 XP away from leveling up. So as soon as he hits that point, sod marching 3 weeks north, I'm heading back to town for some training.
Well, you never know. You might find somebody friendly along the way if the dice say so. Encounter tables aren't all bad.
I thought you were going to say if the dice favour me, because you know that they never do.
They never do. You're quite right. Hello, Mikey the goat cat, the greatest of all time cat. What has your cat done to become the greatest of all time? So I would argue my dog is the greatest of all time. But yes, we played. Your preferred genre is urban fantasy, Nerdio. I didn't put that there. Because there are certain genres that I know absolutely nothing about, and we might end up being sort of led by chat here when it comes to creating something. So that could be good. That could be
Yeah.
good. But get your votes in for the genre. I'll leave that up for a little bit while we have a bit of a waffle to start with. Yeah, we played. Went into Gene's Fawn Doom dungeon again on the first game on Saturday. I was Albertus, who is becoming a bit of a meme, I think, and deservedly so. You all love him, really. And then in the later game, you haven't completed that level. You've
Oh,
just sort of
spoilers.
you haven't. Well, you've not completed it. You've opened the doorway
Mm.
and found your turtle allies out on an underground pool. But there
I
will be
don't know.
more.
I don't know what it is. You have a wonderful knack of making like NPCs and NPC races that I just have this visceral, like knee-jerk hatred for. I don't know.
Why? What's wrong with the little turtle men?
Everything.
Most of them can't even speak. They
Exactly.
just that's what have they done to you? Anyway, other people like my Krampus elves as well. I think they're entertaining little things. You hate them as well.
Um, I can't actually remember many interactions with the Krampus elves. I think it's been times when I've been like passed out or not present.
Right. They're the evil little gnome elf things that help Krampus. Get in the way. Based on my thumbnail for the One Ring video early in the week, it was clear I've embraced sci-fi with a Lord of the Rings Stargate crossover. That's just the cover of the box set. I just robbed a quick JPEG of the cover of the box set from the internet for that. So you know how long I spend on my thumbnails? I spend 10 seconds. It's a miracle. I've got a default one for these. And on Monday, we played some more of the Dragon Lords 5e game, and it's an up and down campaign as far as I'm concerned. I think it's getting better because there's more intrigue now. It felt very much like shepherding you from one fight to another fight to another fight, all very unavoidable and quite clunky in the way it's put together. I know our DMs had to wrestle with all sorts of bits in there, but certainly the last 2 or 3 sessions have been much better because they've been less combat orientated, more sort of puzzle and thought, and the combats we have had puzzle elements. So I quite like that. That's all right. Rather than just loads of forced combats. But yeah, we're in the process of trying to take down a Medusa and her two Minotaur minions. I think we might be in a spot of bother. She's a bit tougher than us. She's a crime boss in the in the Greek themed fantasy world that it is.
That's pretty cool.
And she's been turning her those who step on her turf to stone. But there've been a few innocent people caught in the crossfire, and we are there to protect the innocents. Get less about the criminals. Right. Okay. So let's have a look at the results of this poll that I set up. At the moment, with 10 votes, sci-fi is winning.
Well, I mean, it would be interesting to because obviously we've got chat backing us up, so they can give suggestions. But it'd be interesting to see you, who's got very minimal time for sci-fi, to actually try and, with your vague, limited understanding of it, like put together some sort of sci-fi thing.
Okay, right. Shall we give it a go then? Well, I was planning, as we were putting things together, to be drawing a map and stuff. I don't think I have any map tools that can do a sci-fi map even
Depends what
slightly.
you're doing. If it's a spaceship, it's still just grey corridors.
I'm completely lost. I'm completely lost. You've completely done me in here. Right. At the moment, we have with 11 votes. Sci-fi has 36%, fantasy and horror have 27%, and other specify in chat 9%. I think that would have been Nerdy Ogre saying he likes urban fantasy, more than likely.
I was quite psyched for urban fantasy as well. Read some Dresden Files recently. It's all that kind of, kind of like modern urban, but there's like magic and stuff. That's what I'm taking as urban fantasy. I might be wrong.
It's not a genre I've had any experience with whatsoever. And look at this, 16 votes now, 16 votes, and fantasy has suddenly jumped to 50%.
We need a second poll to clarify what sort of fantasy as well now.
Fantasy is a genre. Fantasy assumes medieval genre.
Yeah, but there's subgenres. Fantasy's a very broad kind of...
I'd like to thank all of the, I think 4 people must have just jumped in now and gone, fantasy. Thank you, Midu. Did you just vote 4 times? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Well, we've got 18 people watching and 16 votes. Hello, Mage. How are you doing?
Yes, Lee Baker, it is a fix. Who runs your polls, you old geek? Is it the Electoral Commission?
What are you saying? Good evening, Nosorian. Good evening, Elfbait. I think these must be the people who have just voted fantasy. These people who are just saying hello. And here's Brian as well, and Nether Portals, who's on Elfbait's link. So Nether Portals, if you can't see chat, it's because all the chat's happening in the chat room related to my channel. I don't know how many people are watching through Elfbait's link, but hopefully if you are on Elfbait's link and you're watching, have a chat with Nether Portals, because he would like to hear from you. And support Elfbait's channel as well. Right. Oh, you're going out, are you, Mage? That's why you're not joining us on the chat on the stream tonight. Right, okay. Well, that's fair enough. I'm glad you've all seen Sense and come round to fantasy.
Massive shout out to Halakar. The leading suit in the Euchre game claims the votes are inaccurate. It's so weird, like growing up in the Channel Islands, Euchre is a big card game, but it's not really played on the mainland. You ever played Euchre, Jorg?
No.
But it's also played in like parts of the United States. It's always weird to meet like American people who know what Euchre is, but nobody in mainland England knows what it is.
It's a card game, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I know quite a few card games, but that's not one I've come across. I used to play bridge at school a lot. Any similarities?
To be fair, I struggle to remember the rules of Euchre. I used to play it like in the pub after work.
Oh, unlikely to be anything like bridge then.
No.
I actually captained my house team at school at bridge, and one of my final exams clashed with the final of the house championship that year, and we'd qualified for it. And so our B pair had to take over as our A pair. We had to bring in our reserves as our B pair, and we got slaughtered. It was, yeah. Because I was sitting. I think it was my geography exam that day. Oh well. So Euchre has it uses the cards that are named after the man that can't be mentioned on our stream. Because to be honest, he can be mentioned now because I don't try and monetize my stream, so I don't care. But because in card games, you have them right. Anyway, we're not talking card games. Anyway, fantasy has just leapt further ahead. Fantasy's now on 53% of the poll, so we're going to go with fantasy. And I'm glad you saw sense. I'm glad. I'm so glad. Right. Okay. Now we need a fantasy location.
I'm kind of tempted to push people towards like snowy locations so we can fill a bit more of your OSC region.
We can do, yeah. I mean, let's suggest a fantasy location. Because I know nothing about the Fallout universe. I mean,
just imagine post-apocalypse. If we said fantasy location Dark Sun, we could get a bit close to Fallout. Dark Sun, but there's like bunkers, magic bunkers.
Elf Beta said jungle. So
in the jungle.
Nerdy Ogre reckons Avalon. King Arthur. Like an island with a mystical. Got Mikey the Goat Cat going for Dark Sun. Desert. I'm just going to present my screen because I do have a piece of map making software. This is what I was actually hoping Elfbait would be in on this one because he's good with the maps. So I'd have just said, Elfbait, load up your map creator. Yeah, you can do the drawing as we go along. But no.
Halakar, Central American Pyramid and Floating City.
Yeah, I like that. It's another jungly one. Juralumin, jungle island with a pirate cove. Okay. Right. So, hopefully you can now see.
Fantasy Battle Maps 2.0 beta.
Yeah. Let's choose a battle map type. Which of these do we think it's going to have to be? I think quite a close-in map. If we're going to be doing sort of like shall we try this for the pyramid, and we'll go with quite a small one. My Birmingham accent, I think, came out there. All right. Okay. While that's loading up, because it's having to share my internet connection. Oh, we have a Daniel as well. We have a Daniel. Hello, Daniel. Are you here to help us create a jungle, a jungle island? Or are you silent? You can't get more fantasy than Avalon. Yeah, you're right. But it looks like people have dived in and gone for the jungle one. But why isn't my thing? There we go. Now, the map type I've chosen is good for the adventure specific location. Or would you rather do a jungle island, a pyramid that floats over a city? Maybe I should give up trying to draw this. Okay. I'm trying to follow multiple screens here, so just bear with me. Pyramid that floats over a city. It's mostly jungle. Small continent. I think we'll actually make an island rather than a specific location. Something quite Isle of Dreadish. So I'm just going to cancel out of the one I've got in at the moment. We'll go to return to my maps, create a new map, and we're going to go with Fantasy Regional. That's the best one for best style for what we're going for. And we'll go for a square map. Let's get that loading instead. So, okay. People are suggesting something jungle-ish. We're doing a small island. Imagine this island is a couple of miles across. And at the center of the island is a city on the middle of the lake, on the middle of a lake in the middle of the island. That's nothing at all like Tenochtitlan. No, nothing at all. But it might be on a lake. And floating above this city is a pyramid. What sort of people would live in a city that floats on a lake in the middle of an island with a pyramid above it? What would their sort of their life be like? What sort of structure would they have to their society? I'm looking at you, Gingerbeard. You can't tell.
This is this is the danger of when you do like jungles and kind of H. Rider Haggard type settings. It's like, oh, here we go. It's the boring white men describing these colonial power fantasies.
Elfbait makes a point here, though. Are they even human?
Even worse. Oh, what are you saying? That these not Aztecs are actually lizard men? What are you, Games Workshop?
What that
I mean,
could be. Since it's a jungle setting, Yanti.
They could be Yanti.
Yeah, and then they use the humans and goblinoids and whatever that are on the ground to gather their supplies and food and whatnot.
So the rulers of the city will be Yanti, and maybe they've enslaved various lizardy, humanoidy creatures to do their bidding. So
you would have like kobolds, lizard men, naturally in the jungle. The Yanti controlling.
Elfbait seems to be determined to have human bird type creatures of some sort.
I like that you put Aarakocra so that we can then just spend 20 minutes having a debate over the pronunciation of Aarakocra.
Right. So I'm going to start drawing this map. I don't know if any of you have seen Incarnate before, but it's quite a nice little program. Let's zoom the map right out. So we're looking for an island. What sort of shape do you think this island's gonna have? Any suggestions?
Well, so what's the main race in the pyramid going to be? Yanti or the Aarakocra?
I think Aarakocra enslaved by Yanti is a really good idea.
Okay.
The Saurian, hey, could you please teach me how to pronounce it?
I would call them Aarakocra.
Aarakocra.
Aarakocra. Right, so what sort of shape do you want this island to be? We're going to see my lack of drawing ability here.
You can start sketching it out, and I'll shout out which Channel Island it looks like a shitty version of.
Well, I'm thinking it's going to need a large enough flat spot, open area that the pyramid can get set down into, because the Yanti raised the pyramid up for defense, so they can't be attacked. But then they have to lower it if they want to go to the ground. Because even though they have spells and everything, not all the Yuan-Ti are magic users.
That
You
is
know what I
true.
mean?
That is
They,
true.
they need a way to get the common, air quotes, Yuan-Ti down to the ground when and if needed.
Right. So we have an island with a lake in the middle. How do you want me to tweak this island? I'm just going to make the coast a bit more wobbly. Anyone? Any sort of formations you want me to put on the island? Keep the suggestions clean.
I mean, you've basically made Anus Island already, so it's
Oh, joy. Here we go. Right, so
it's like the goatsy meme. You just need to put like the wedding ring on one side, and that's it. Congratulations.
okay, now
right,
you brought up wedding. Did you know there are 3 rings to marriage?
Yeah.
The engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering.
oh, yeah, that's spoken by a man who knows. Right. So there are going to be rivers joining the lake in the middle of the island. We'll go from that bit there to the.
Okay, how big is the island?
I'm assuming the lake in the middle is going to be about a mile across.
Okay. All right, so about 2.5 miles. Okay.
Something like that. A few rivers stretching out. And I think I'll put another one. Put another one down here somewhere, but one that doesn't go quite as directly to the sea. This will be the longest river on the island. There we go. What do you think of that so far?
All right. How big is the pyramid?
The pyramid's going to be. I don't even know if there's a pyramid stamp on here, but I've got to create the city in the middle. So,
Well, even if you could do like a square or a triangle to just represent where it's at, or even a circle, it don't matter. But just depends how big would it be.
So it is. It looks like it's quite a big donut, doesn't it? Rather than a bum hole. Right. So shall we put a stamp on the middle of the island? Right. Okay. So the auntie will mainly live in the center, in this ruling over this city. And it'll be an island that would have been created by a volcanic explosion many thousands of years ago. The Aarakocra, I'm guessing, would have been sort of farmed by the Yuan-Ti from highlands that are running around the island. But I'm just going to see if there's any stamps on here.
So I just cutting across. So like RPG Grandma, should be lots of small pyramids too, all ruined, and that set me thinking. Like, you should for reusability, you should be able to print off this map and then drop a bunch of D4s on top of it, and that's where the ruined pyramids are all over the place.
That would work. Yep, that would work.
There we go. That is the pyramid. I'm going to assume that floats above. I don't quite know how to do that. I'm not good enough with this piece of software yet, but we've got to make it look like there's a city underneath. So let's look at house. Here we go. Babylonian style, Eastern style, Elven style, jungle style. They're very much huttish.
Whilst you're sorting that out, Andy Houston bringing the geography down on your ass. Is it a freshwater lake that flows to the sea, or is it tidal with the sea flowing back and forth? Very good question.
Tidal. Actually, no. It's gonna be freshwater. It's gonna be freshwater. So we need to try and create a bit of geography, don't we, to make that work. Jungle buildings. Here we go. Some jungle buildings. I'm going to dot some of these.
Halakar's suggestion as well now. Something from the pre-Yuan-Ti era. Remains of the statue of Ozymandias or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Before the Aarakocra were enslaved in the Highlands or whatever.
I'm just going to try and I'm just trying to give the image of a busy island in the middle. Unfortunately, this software has only got one small jungle building, so there's going to be very little variation here.
A busy island. Does it have a stamp for coffee shops?
No.
That's basically what Jersey's become. Just rows and rows of coffee shops and international banks.
So, I like the idea of this lake being high up then, I think. And these bits could easily be waterfalls. And if we have like a cliff rim running around here, and that would be the execution method. The Yuan-Ti would clip the wings of the Aarakocra and throw them off the cliff. I'm getting dark and twisted already, aren't I?
You're the one who made Anus Island.
No. Right. Okay. So, I don't think. I'm wondering if I search into a temple whether I'll get. Some better. These pyramids look better. These Babylonian ones, and there was a jungle one. Yes. I think that's better. Yay or nay? Or could these be the other ones that are dotted around the island? This looks more run down, so we'll as RPG Grandma says, we're gonna have some ruined and overgrown pyramids. I wish they got a few more jungle tiles here because the selection's not very good. Incarnate, you've let me down here.
Yes, nether portals, I agree. Anus Island, great tourism spot.
Right. So they now live on the centre of the island. The only thing I haven't really thought about very well here is how long it's going to take me to draw the cliff bit. Talk amongst yourselves, chat, and everybody else while I'm trying to work out how to do this.
Oh, nice. So RPG Grandma said the execution cliff should have lots of bones at its base. And then the Saurian followed up with the bone beach, which is kind of cool.
Okay. The bone beach is a good idea. And we could easily have here we go. This is the cliff.
I'm just imagining like the opening to Baywatch, apart from instead of sand, they're just running over all these bones. I'll be there.
And on my stream, you get Gingerbeard singing. You weren't expecting that, were you? You weren't expecting that tonight. It's better than me singing, though, isn't it? Yeah, be honest. Be honest.
I'm sorry, chat have seized on the idea of Anus Island.
Oh well. Well, thank you for keeping me up to date on what chat are doing. So I actually can't see chat at the moment.
Yeah, I guess that.
My headset has just warned me my battery is low as well, which is really, really not helpful. I'm hoping I've got more than an hour left on it. Right. I think that looks half decent over here. Can you? Does it look all right? My cliffs? Yay or nay?
I mean, there are no cliffs at Dover, but they'll do.
Okay. Well, I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah, that's a good shout, Nerdy Ogre. He's getting an Alita Battle Angel vibe.
A what?
It's well, manga, anime, then got turned into actually a pretty decent live action movie with some heavy CGI work that worked for what it was. Basically, it's like post-apocalyptic sci-fi. All the rich people live in these like cities above that are like connected vaguely to the ground by these like long pipes that just like spews out rubbish, and then all the poor people just live in the rubbish below.
That's where poor people should live. I'm just saying something controversial for the sake of it. Cancel me, chat. Cancel me. Okay.
RPG grammar. How do they keep the bird folk enslaved?
They clip their wings. There will be some rebels.
My mum has an African grey parrot with clipped wings. It's just it hasn't made me sad though, because I don't. You can't hate an animal, but it does scare me. Don't like
You're
birds.
scared of a parrot.
Birds are horrible. Like
They're
they're
not.
weird.
They're
Like
lovely.
reptilians stare at you. But
That's
they've also got this
because they're descended
finger
from
removing
reptiles.
device,
They're descended from reptiles.
just like the British royal family.
Hey!
That was funny.
Hey, right. This is where I start to my clumsiness with this software starts to show. I don't know many of the little techniques to make things tidier. So that looks okay, I think. Right. So what I have to do now, everybody, is see down here. Oh, whoops. That's too big. That little knob there is far too big.
The hemorrhoid point.
So what I wanted to do was to do that. And then if I then go around the edge, so it looks like the lake is following the cliff around somewhat, it makes it look a little bit more authentic. What do you reckon, chat? Is this crap or is this crap? Right, what sort of level of character are we looking for? I'm assuming we're thinking D&D sort of thing. So what sort of how many on T are we talking about? Is this going to be proper high level stuff? Or is this going to be a sort of a get in and get out one, avoiding the ONT? So Dwellers of the Forbidden City was mid-level and it underplayed the ONT. And I can remember running that adventure and levels 5 and 6 characters got absolutely obliterated by them. The polymorph spell that they can cast. Just yeah, we had party's dwarf was a rat for a while. That sort of thing. It was all good fun. Right. Does that look okay from a distance? It's only meant to look okay from a distance. Is that all right? Do it. So we've got a name for it, haven't we? Anus Island. Is that what we're going to go with?
think we should move away from that.
I'll spell it differently. It won't be spelled ANUS. I'll spell it differently. AYNURSS or something.
It doesn't really evoke the kind of jungle setting.
No, you're right.
Keenness.
You are right. You are right. Okay. I suppose I better look at chat because I haven't looked at chat for about 10 minutes while I've been doing those doodles.
Still mainly debating the way of executing Aarakocra, Aarakocra punishment.
Flying is probably an executional offence. There we go. Right. Okay, so it's a jungle island, so I'm going to give it a more jungly background color, and then we can do the stuff on top. The beach of we've got somebody said something about the beach of bones, didn't they?
Yeah, so that was like a double whammy. So RPG Grandma said about, if they're clipping the Aarakocra's rings and pushing them off an execution point, and then I believe it was an Asaurian who said the beach of bones.
Right, what I'm going to do then is shorten this bit here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if we color this area, open the catalog, and we're going to go for something like a deserty sort of a rocky desert red color. So the beach of bones will be there. It's fine, isn't it? There will be some little sandy coves around. So go around the edge.
Yeah, I think thinking about it logistically, it's going to be a get in, do what you need to do, get out. So yeah, a couple of coves where some sort of ship can land. Albeit at higher level, you've maybe got some other ways of getting there, but hey.
Yes. Okay.
We all love the idea of a pirate raid.
We do, don't we? Yes, yes. Under cover of invisibility or something. Or whatever. Depending on what level the characters are. Right, let's open up the catalogue. So we need a better colour, really, for the background of jungle. I think a dark green. I've just realised I'm on the. It's not the. Not just the painting one. This is the texture section, which probably isn't as useful. But let's give it a slightly darker colour.
To be honest, I used Worldographer and I just used the kind of Mystara template set and smash out maps like adding to the Poor Wizard's Almanac. So
I've
all of this kind of stuff is.
I've never seen the Poor Wizard's Almanac.
Huh?
Is it any good?
For like a flick through, they're decent. Like, I'm sure there are diehard Mystara fans in the chat and in your wider fan group who would be shouting at me right now. Like, they're there.
Fan group? Did you say I've got a fan group?
Yeah.
I have people who feel sorry for me who pop along from time to time just to make me feel better. Isn't that right?
What would be the name for your fan group? Yoggies.
I don't know. So there we go. This is just going to be like a background color, because what I'm going to do over the top of this is, if we go to color, no, I'm terrible at picking the right sort of colors. Think this sort of color, and then we make it very, very pale and just sort of skim it over the top. It should soften.
I've got to read out Halakar. Halakar's put in a lore. I'm not going to say lore dump because that sounds negative. It's not what I'm trying to convey.
Well, if we're doing Anus Island, then dump will work.
No. No. We need to move away from Anus Island. Escape from Anus Island. It's like the story of my life. Getting out of Jersey, escape from Anus Island. Sorry, sidetracked. Halakar says,
Go.
There is the legend of the bone glyphs. An ancient shaman put to death on the beach of bones is said to have the ritual engraved on his very bones. Young birdlings search for them in secret. Yeah, that's really cool.
That's a really nice idea. Are you making notes, Inchbeard?
5% chance of finding bones for every 1 hour of searching on the beach of bones. I'm not making notes. I'm still in a situation where my second monitor is in the other room, but I can do.
I think you should make notes. Right. Jungle trees. Here's jungle trees. Right. Now, I like it when we do random stamps for these. Now, the trees are going to appear big because otherwise it's just to show the location of forests. Actually, we'll do hills and mountains first. So there's going to be some craggy areas and there's going to be one area where I think where there's a rebel group of Arakocra who are still fighting against these 1T overlords are holding out.
Sorry, I've just been struck on an idea, but it is. You've run it now. Is everyone okay with spoilers for Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh?
Yes.
Can the UNT just be a bunch of pirates in suits?
Well, I suppose they could be. Right.
We started dressing like this to keep people away from our gold.
All right. Now I quite like these rocky mountains here, but let's have a little look. Dark mountains, no. Snowy mountains, they don't fit. Green, yeah, I think we'll go with these rocks. So we've got like a shielded area over this side over here. Something like that. Does it look totally out of place?
I mean, you're talking about an island where a giant pyramid floats over the central bit. It's hard to distinguish what is and is not out of place.
There we go. Okay.
Madhu says it's looking neat.
Good. Excellent.
Mac Thompson says we come here for John's cheery and cheeky disposition.
Hey! You come here for me being look. This is the level of my organization and preparation skills. I throw together maps and incarnate. I hope they'll work for something, and then I try and make it up as I go along. One of my players actually sent me a a WhatsApp message on Monday, Tuesday it was, saying, "John, I'm thinking of running a Call of Cthulhu scenario, and I really like that last one you wrote for us. Any sort of tips on how I go about sort of storyboarding or working out the maps and all that sort of stuff?" My reply was, "Well, I scribbled a few maps and I wrote about half a page of notes on a sheet of paper, and then just made it all up." It really wasn't very helpful for him. Because I'm afraid that's half the time. That's how I do my adventures. Scribble things down, and then just try and talk bollocks for a while.
Man, you're trying to give the veneer through your YouTube channel that you've got knowledge to impart. Then
I have.
Like, oh, it's Michael up, it's bollocks, isn't it?
I have. I've got knowledge to impart, and that knowledge is don't take it all too seriously unless you fancy yourself as a professional.
Madhu asks, is the idea of aggressive gnoll villages happening? And that's a good nudge. It would be cool to have some other subservient or sub creatures who, depending on reaction roll, you could like ally with them to go against the UNT, or they could just really mess up your day.
Okay. I will add something village like. Right. So that mountainous and forested area up there is going to be the Arakocra. And they witness their own kind being executed on the Beach of Bones. They perch on the top of the highest peak where they can see the cruelty that their people are forced to endure. Which, of course, gives good guys a reason to adventure other than grab loot from bad creatures. That's always useful. So, forests tend to grow in damp areas, so we're going to have this. The longest river runs through heavily wooded area. I'm just using the random tree shapes for this. So the southern part of the island, very wooded.
The Saurian followed that up with Gnoll Pirates, anyone. And I dipped back into playing Tears of the Kingdom recently, and I got to those bits for anyone who's played Zelda Tears of the Kingdom where you got to like fight off the pirates who have invaded the village to the south. It was a really enjoyable experience, but it's like they're all like goblin-y looking type pirate monsters that you got to go and fight in air quotes. Basically, attach a bunch of bombs to your arrows and fire them and blow them up. It was a fun experience, but it was an experience that in this video game that it's like once this is over, these things aren't coming back. I'm never going to get to do this again. Made me quite sad when I killed the last one of them.
So you enjoying the game up until then? When it was all over, it was all over.
Yeah.
Oh. Is that me finishing the last level of Dungeon Keeper? But I probably will play Dungeon Keeper again. Right. The gnolls will tuck themselves away down here. Now, that doesn't appear to be very particularly visible. That campsite thing I put on there. Is there a way I can make that more visible?
Halakar's knocking out the park with kind of adventure hook suggestions at the moment. A pair of brothers firmly believe a treasure is hidden beneath the swamp. They even have some maps and other documentation hinting at it. But how do you drain the swamp?
high-level druids with spells, but druids swamps are natural, so you have to mind control the druid in some way. I don't know. It's however you want to do it. So we have a Knoll encampment down here. Knolls. Right. Up here. This is the Arakocra. Watch my spelling go wrong here. Arakocra. That's it, isn't it? It was arrow. Ara or arrow.
I can't even read just screen in screen.
All right. Yeah, I think that's the right spelling. How is this looking on the stream? I've lost sight of the chat. All my chats disappeared. Yeah, putting a sign there saying Knolls also works. So yes, and I would say that you see, there's a pyramid just to the north of the Knolls. Daniel, I think your telly's on and coming through. Daniel,
I have it turned way down. I'll mute
we
it.
can pick up on something.
How's that?
That's much better. That's much better.
Right.
It was picking it up. Okay. See, just north of the Knolls, there's a ruined pyramid. I mean, the Knolls might have no interest whatsoever in the Yuan-ti in the middle. They may have discovered something in that pyramid. What might they have discovered? What might they have discovered in that in a ruined pyramid that would make the Knolls really interested to be here? You're typing to someone, aren't you, Ginger?
No, I was just looking up something that would have made a joke if it was the right Egyptian god, but it wasn't, so it doesn't work. Yeah, why are the Knolls there?
Why are the Knolls there? So,
They believe there is an artifact from, how do you pronounce his name? You know, Ungol, their god.
I mean,
Mac Thompson makes the sensible suggestion: shrine to Anubis, jackal god. But then I noticed that Anubis is an anagram of bi-anus, which leads us back to
why tonight? Why?
Delilah.
So,
General Nut says female Knolls? ?
Okay, they are female Knolls. That makes it potentially even more disturbing. What are the female Knolls doing there?
Well,
what do they want?
The Yuan-ti are known for breeding different races. So maybe the Yuan-ti are breeding with the female.
And thus, beneath the pyramid in the center of the city in the middle is a hideous race of Knoll-tis.
That could be, there you go.
Knolls. Is that where Mr. T came from?
Knolls.
Knolls.
I pity the fool.
Right. So we've got the Arakocra rebels. We've got Yanti who've taken over the center of the island, and they live on that center section. That pyramid floats above the city. And Yanti basically treat the Arakocra that they've enslaved. They clip their wings, they treat them horribly, and they treat them like slaves in that packed city area. It's a slum. That's a city underneath the pyramid. So what are the Yanti forcing their slaves to do to make? What is the purpose of the Yanti? What are they trying to do? Are they trying to get access to this floating pyramid, or have they already gained access, and are they using it for some nefarious purpose?
Who's the god of the Yanti? I can't remember.
I haven't got the faintest idea. I know the Gnolls worship Yeenagu.
Yeah. Because the Yanti were one of the creator races.
Who is the? Does anybody know who the god of the Yanti is?
Come on, someone quickly go to 1D4chan. Find it.
They've already gained access using the slaves to mine some energy orbs to keep the pyramid floating. Ooh. So there are, or maybe, yeah, and because it's in the middle of a lake, the mines are constantly flooding and leaking, and that's why they need more slaves, because there's a lot of accidents. Yanti are drowning.
It has been 0 days since the last workplace accident.
Yes. They conquered the Gnoll religious order. That's it. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Yeah. So the Arakocra are forced to live in a dense shanty town of huts beneath this floating pyramid. Directly beneath it is a mine with this mineral with magic properties that is used in some ritual to keep the pyramid floating. Okay. I think we're getting somewhere, aren't we? I think Anubis Island is it could be the name of the island. Yes. I will name the island, and I'm going to put in a little thingy as well. Let's just open my catalogue. And we'll go with compass. Right. Any favorite compasses on here? I rather like these ones. Actually, no, that looks more nautical. So let's put a compass on the bottom. And we'll put a scale marker because we've got these. Chat amongst yourselves. Well, yeah, my headphones really are moaning at me now. I may have to switch headphones in a minute. Okay.
Duralumin says Anubis Island, but it's often shortened to just Anus. I'm sorry I have tainted your whole creative work this evening by making one dumb comment about the shape of your island.
Let me edit. See, stupid size thing. I think that might be the. It does say 5 miles, but it's got a stupid 5 on there. Might have to change the way that looks. Let's take off my. That's better. That's better. There we are. So that gives you an idea of how big the island is. It's not massive. It's not massive. Right. Okay. So the what can I now add to this map? What does the map need to make it look a bit, make it pop a bit more?
I mean, I think as a base map, it's fine.
Okay.
We've done an hour of mapping, so
yeah,
it's kind of now. You could get, random encounter tables, stuff like that.
Okay, well that's fine. Okay, so that's like, stop doing what you're doing, Geek. Don't get too fussy. Leave it as it is, and let's crack on with the nuts and bolts. Right.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know. I need to go off camera for 5 minutes and go for a cigarette, but
Okay.
Let chat decide. This is meant to be about chat. Do you want to keep mapping, or do you want to start making some random tables, or do you want to do something different? Maybe a rumor table or something else. I don't know. That's why we're asking you.
Right. Okay. So we have up in the northwest a rebel Arakocra village, or they inhabit a ruined pyramid in the jungle. They observe the goings on from the rocky heights of the crags in the northwest, which we can give a name to at some point. Whereas we've got some a tribe of Knoll females towards the southeast, who, what did we decide they were doing? What did we decide the Knolls were? Okay, so the Yuan Ti have subverted their religious order. I'm going to say the Yuan Ti have the ability to polymorph. So maybe the Yuan Ti have polymorphed one of their own into a hyena-like creature, and they are like some sort of sect that worship these lizard hyenas. Maybe subverted, perhaps, but that would be based in the ruined pyramid towards the southeast. We've got one more ruined pyramid in the northeast. Now, people are talking about pirates. Because that area is open and visible to the sea, I'm wondering if pirates might have landed in the northeast and be possibly digging around those ruins for some hidden treasures. Now, pirates, of course, they could be allies. They not necessarily have to be enemies. They could be allies against the Yuan Ti. The party could easily band with them to share the booty. And then you get to bring in reaction rolls and things like that to see whether the party and the pirates can work together. In the center of the island, we have a floating pyramid, which is the base of the Yuan Ti. And they are using enslaved Arakocra with their wings clipped to mine for a magical substance to keep that pyramid floating above this hideous and miserable ghetto of flightless Yuan-Ti that inhabit the central island. We have an execution site, which is the Bay of Bones, which is just to the west, that barren area and the cliffs above it. We can have a nice big waterfall there, then maybe throw the Yuan-Ti over the waterfall, and the good Yuan-Ti in the northwest might have a little ritual whenever they see it happening. Pirates, indeed, they provide us a supply of replacement PCs if things go badly. And yes, something going on in most directions. There's things to find on this island. And we've now got quite a lot of flexibility. Of course, if the party think they're tough, they could go all murder hobo and just try and trap it. Of course, Yuan-Ti are difficult. So we've got to think now of random encounters. Random encounters on the island. I'm going to look for a 2d6. I like using 2d6 random encounter tables, with the most common things being 6, 7, and 8 in the middle, going out to very rare encounters on 2 and 12. And we can have different random encounters for waterboard, for actually on the coast, and for ones that are slightly inland as well. So I'm going to suggest 2 tables. We're looking for jungle themed encounters, and we're looking for coastal ones, tropical coastal ones, and jungle ones. Snakes and spiders, definitely. And they're going to be jungle. Do you think they'd be the most common ones? I'm going to put at 3 and 11 on the inland one, Yuan-Ti slavers. They're not going to be that common because they're busy with what they're doing, but they're going to be at 3 and 11 on inland. And I'm going to put giant constrictor snakes. I think that's a good one for a fairly common encounter.
What are you doing, Wesley?
I'm going out with Connor. Wes, I'm not taking you out.
And soldier ants, yes, definitely. Ants.
Stop it.
Ants are going to be in the medium sort of. So we're also listening to the soap opera that is Daniel's life as well at the moment.
Yeah, my dog's being a butthead.
Isn't that always the case? Right. So we've got giant ants going in at number 5. Bats, yes. Pirate scavengers, yes. And they can be on both coastal and inland. So I'm going to put in humans, pirates.
I would have the pirates probably in the Western Cove.
You'd put the pirates in the west, would you?
In the Western Cove, because it's the shortest to the inland lake and it's the most protected.
That's the execution beach, though.
Oh, okay.
We've got that decided as the place of execution. I think
maybe they would take a skiff up the long river, the Snaky River, up through the jungle on the southeast.
They could do, yes, yeah, and they could have discovered the knolls.
Yeah,
they could have done, yes. So I've got inland, a few dinosaurs. Yes.
it's not big enough to support big dinos if you want to go by. I know it's a fantasy game, but to keep it a little really realistic, they'd have to be a little smaller. Like I doubt there'd be any T-Rexes or anything like that.
Okay. On the inland one, I've got some rolling 2d6, so it's going to be a very uncommon encounter. If I roll 2 pteranodons, flying dinosaurs,
Yeah,
and if I roll double 6, 12 raptors.
there you go. That's perfect. Yeah. Now,
If I roll if I roll 3 or 11, you get Yonti. I'm going to have different groups. 4 is a band of gnolls. 5 is giant ants. 6 giant constrictor snake. Then I've got 10 for humans brackets pirates.
how deep or wide are the rivers going into the middle lake?
Not very.
Okay.
It's only a small. It's not a big island.
Yeah, I know. I just wondered, because I was thinking you could throw in a waterborne encounter in the lake too, but
I think that area is going to be very, very much controlled by the Yonti.
okay, yep.
I think that's okay. I'm going to put human tribesmen as well. I think that's a good idea. And giant bats. Yeah, that's a good. There we go.
Yeah.
So the inland one is.
I hate to be racist, but pygmies would be perfect.
But that's how whatever tribesmen we can come up with.
Yeah, I'm thinking pygmies. The short little nasty bastards are like kobolds, only human.
Yep. Right. Killer chickens, they're dinosaurs, isn't they?
Killer chickens.
Right. The Aarakocra they're not going to be a random land encounter, I don't think, because they don't risk going inland, but they might well be surveying the coast. So I'm going to put some flying Aarakocra as a coastal encounter. And humans pirates are going to be more common, I think, on the coast. We can also have humans tribesmen.
Of course, if it's tropical, random animals, crocodiles, alligators.
Yep.
So
yeah, I think a saltwater crocodile. There we go.
Because they're nasty.
Absolutely.
And just to be a dick, because somebody died like 2 months ago in one of our groups, bullywugs. Like a little tribe of bullywugs or something.
Are they tropical bullywugs?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, we got to keep the numbers low. The crocodiles and alligators would be natural.
Right.
And I don't know that the gnolls would be brave enough to actually go after a big saltwater crocodile, so therefore you'd have them in the area.
Okay. Drop bears. We could definitely have giant crabs coming out of the water. I've got giant crabs on my list here. I think that's... we could have a patch of slime that's actually green slime, couldn't we? Yeah, a patch of algae that's actually green slime. That's another one.
Yeah.
Do they all... anything I'm really missing?
One thing, I don't know if you have room on the map. Like I said, you don't want to overpopulate. A colony of ettercaps. That way you have to worry about what's above.
Yeah.
But that goes along with the spiders. You could have ettercaps living with the spiders.
I'm getting rid of the poisonous snake and I'm putting giant spiders there instead of poisonous snakes. I realize I forgot that. And my pen has just run out. That's great. Giant spiders. And there's, yeah, I can say there could be some etacaps. Yes. There we go. All these sentient races on such a small geographic area could be a problem. Well, that's yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's the problem. If nothing else, just expand the size of the island.
I could do.
Just spread it out. Keep the same map, but just make it bigger.
Possible. Yeah. One. I mean, what I'm just looking for one more thing to put in as encounter number 7, which is the most common one for the coast. So far, I've got flying dinosaurs, bullywugs, Aarakocra, tribesmen, pirates, green slime, big cat, giant crabs. I've written down here marine hobgoblins and saltwater crocodile. Yeah, seagulls crapping on your head. There we are. Stealing your food.
Well, they could be. You use the stats for a rock, but have them look like seagulls. You know what I mean?
Daniel, you should never be allowed to be a DM. You'd be too evil. You'd be more evil than Saxon.
Well, if you think about it, you got those little mountains or whatever over there on the top left, in the northwest corner. They could nest up there and just cruise around the island looking for food.
I don't think the island's big enough to support a rock, to be honest.
Okay. Or give them the stats of a giant hawk or a giant eagle. I think they have one of those two in there.
I could just restart. Hello, Intellectual Quandary. Iman, with his posh new name.
Although,
I could. I mean, you know, you've got things like bloodhawks in the Fiend Folk.
Yeah.
I could just blood gulls.
Yeah, something like
seagulls that.
Like, there's been articles written where you give, say, goblins the stats of hobgoblins just to throw the players off, and that would be perfect. You know, you give the seagull the stats of a bloodhawk.
Yeah, and just have a flock of them.
Yep. Although it would be, you think I'm evil, it would be more evil just to have your party get totally shit on by a whole flock of seagulls.
Yes, and have
imagine your paladin being covered in seagull shit.
I'm feeling I have to expand these random encounter tables now because all these suggestions are coming in for. I think gull sturges might be a good one.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. Yep.
So gull sturges, and we've got blood gulls. New things we're going to make. Yes. Hope you haven't got any fear of birds, anybody.
Oh, we're going to make an Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Yeah,
goals as well. Oh, I hate goals. I used to have a job. So we did the broncage, like the hedge cutting on the island lanes, and it all goes in like a big truck, and then you take it down to the reclamation point and you dump it. And because I was the youngest one, I had to go open the back of the truck. And if anyone's been to like a reclamation point, it's just seagulls, like all seagulls all the time. They're just like all around you. It's horrible.
Well, that's what I was just telling John. I'd love to have his paladin on this and have him get shit on just by a ton of seagulls. That would be hilarious.
He would get annoyed. He'd have to go and wash his hair straight away. Polish his armor. Right. So I've got my random encounter tables, but I've got other things noted down underneath. I've got big cats on the table, and that would probably leopards would probably be a good call there. But also you've got general wildlife. So you're going to have all sorts of rodents and other small mammals running around. And if there's ever been a show, there's going to be rats. Yeah. Well, general wildlife, plenty of rats and what are the mammals are suitable for this sort of environment? Wild dogs and things like that.
Well, I was thinking the gnolls could have. I'm trying to think of a dog that does well in a tropical environment, but gnolls you would think could have. Normally, they have like hyenas if they have dog type creatures, but
Which is kind of weird because they're hyena people.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
like the whole, It's like the whole
Cheers,
Goofy and Pluto. Like,
yeah, yep. But the gnolls could have in their area. There might be a pack of tropical type wild dogs running around.
yes, Mac Thompson, honey badger. I don't think we could write an adventure high enough level to include a honey badger.
I've seen Manfred. Manfred has just snuck in as well. I like the idea of a were-mongoose. Quick trivia question: what's the plural of mongoose?
That would be it.
It seems like less of a trivia question and more of a QI question. That the obvious answer is just going to get you shouted at by Stephen Fry.
What? Try and answer.
See, the natural reaction would be mongoose, but that feels like the Alan Davies answer, where Stephen Fry would be like, "Oh, Alan, you fucking idiot." So I'm going to go for mongooses.
Yes. Manfred had already said this. Yeah, Manfred is right. Mongoose is the plural. Although I do like monga. It is mongooses. With mongooses. So where mongooses? This is what I've written down here.
That would be kind of like in the Belgariad. I think it was the 4th book. Maybe it was, but anyhow, it was Silk, Belgarian, and Belgareth. They went and visited. No, it was the 2nd book, maybe. And they visited the witch on the lake, and there was all these like weasels in the water. But it would be kind of like that. Sorry, I started rambling there.
No, it's good, man.
I'm just laughing at chat. It's a male mongoose and mongander. Mongoloids. Somebody had to say it.
Yeah, but in that book, she had Belgarath give them the power of speech because they were very intelligent and everything. So, but yeah, something like that, like a child size wereweasel type thing.
Child size were mongooses.
Yeah.
There we go. Fantastic. I think that's a great idea. And they could certainly help the party if the party are attacked by snakes.
Oh yeah, and they were very intelligent, and
They were not evil at all, neutral at best, good aligned more than likely. But yeah, and that's something that the party could like fall back on and say, "Hey, we need a hand."
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. And what armor class would a mongoose have?
Oh, it'd be low.
Absolutely. Ever seen the YouTube videos of mongoose versus cobra? You just know the cobra's dead. It can't get anywhere near the thing.
I'm thinking 3.
2 or 3, yes.
Speaking of YouTube videos, I was just thinking like whatever is your highest result on your random encounter table, it should just be a single orangutan in like the magical fantasy equivalent of a golf buggy. Just
Right. Okay. There's another snake video I saw. And have you ever seen snakes attempt to bite a cat?
Oh, that's funny.
There's one where this snake comes right up to the face of a cat. At the moment the snake opens its jaws to attempt to strike, the cat immediately goes paf across and knocks the snake out. It's just like, wow. The reactions of the cat are just insane.
Well, it's like my dog is 110 pounds. And he's afraid of my 10-pound cat.
Oh, cats are hardcore. Cats are hardcore.
I mean, and I had to put the other dog down back in July, and she was just as big. My cat Church, named because he looks like the cat from Pet Cemetery, who is named Church. He's a Russian blue, but they were gooning around and running through the house, tearing shit up. And they went to run into my den, and he was sitting in the doorway. And he gave one quick hiss and shut that shit down quicker than no. It was funny. You saw 220 pounds of dog just freeze and go into the living room and lay down. It was hilarious.
We have an Iman joining us.
Nice.
Iman is muted.
Hi everyone. Hope you're all well.
Evening.
You're right.
Good evening.
Yes, not too bad. How are you?
You are indeed grizzly with that big. You've grown up pretty quick.
I know. I'm thinking how long it's been. Maybe 6-7 weeks.
That's a mighty sprout.
It's no ginger beard, but it's something.
But this is like a year in the making, though. It's not 6 or 7 weeks.
Dude, if I had that much facial hair as either of you two guys, the screen would look like it's snowing because it would all be gray.
I've never had a grey hair. I'm proud to say that.
I've got a white or grey somewhere in my beard here.
The problem is.
Yeah, you don't have any. Yeah, no, like the last year and a half, 2 years, the gray started showing up pretty bad.
Right. So,
anyhow,
any more adventure hooks for our island?
Well, if you're going to have an encounter for pirates, do they have a base there anywhere? Just like just like a couple huts.
I'm thinking up in the northeast for the pirates.
That's what I'd be thinking. If they don't bug the Aracroca and they don't bug them, and it's a mutual, we leave each other alone, they could have something up there. Because Aracroca aren't normally aggressive.
Nope.
So the pirates just want some place to land and like rest, and they could have something up in the northeast.
I was thinking they might have discovered those ruins in the northeast.
There could be that, and then they're working on trying to figure them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got the main map there. I'm going to save it. And I think we're going to need to zoom in now and do a more local
Barf.
one. A more local one.
All right, cool.
So I'll just save it. I don't know how long it will take. This is Anubis Island. And it is saving. Oh, it's doing it quite quickly. My old computer used to take ages to do this. That's great.
How high does the pyramid float above the island?
I'm going to say probably about 200 feet.
Okay. Are the
Yes.
Yunti able to like maneuver it?
Yes.
Or-
Yes.
Okay.
So which area do you want to make? I'm going to use fantasy battle maps for this. I am terrible at doing these. I really am bad. So you'll have to excuse me.
Then we won't worry about the pyramid because that'll be more complex.
Yes, I'm thinking of one of the locations that we.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
we've
That gives
described.
you a chance to get a little used to the system. Or else you'll be like me on Saturday morning.
Manfred says, "What tool are you using?" So just shout out. Yeah,
It's Incarnate. Incarnate.
The one I was
Right.
born with.
Hey, right. The youth going through the trials of manhood. Noel Pup has to bring back something from the pyramid to become a man. I like the idea of gnolls just being ravenous, evil enemies. that's
It's a book written. I just reread it for about the 5th time. It's set in the Forgotten Realms. It's one of the Harper series. I think it's called Ice Warriors. It's about a Harper that had to go like way, way far north. And she ends up encountering an ice method. But a Knoll shaman helps her out. It's pretty cool. I like how they portrayed Knowles in that. Because he got booted from his tribe because he was like kind of too nice.
the best gnolls, in my opinion, are the ones that are in the gauntlet because they're drunk. They've discovered the beer cellar, and they're in various stages of intoxication throughout the adventure. So you can imagine what sort of drinking songs gnolls would sing.
Oh my lord!
I'm not even going to
Feel there,
attempt.
like smashed, twerking all over the place.
They would not be family friendly songs.
Oh, no.
Imagine like Whoopi Goldberg voicing the hyena in Lion King, just like
yeah.
twerking at you.
I can't think of anything I'd rather not see.
But
Right.
I prefer my Knowles more of a shades of grey. I disagree with you, Yog, as well.
I like those, although I do like those.
They're literally spawned from demon blood.
Yes,
They are.
yeah. I do like those. They're probably my favorite goblinoid, whatever you want to call them.
It's farts.
Yeah.
It's farts. Right. Okay. So, which of the various locations on the island are we going to attempt to make a simple adventuring location?
If you don't want to do a lot, do the pirate hangout.
Okay.
That or the gnolls, but the gnolls would probably be more. So I'm thinking the pirates, just so you start to get used to the mapping system.
Thank you, Daniel. You're very, very kind. How kind is he, everybody?
Yeah. Ask my ex-wives.
No, I'm not going to do that. Right. Okay. So it's a grassy area. So let's do.
Is a grassy knoll.
He's been laying out for a while. Only 2 shots. Wait, only one. Only one shot.
Right. Okay. So we've got to go on to foreground.
That was funny, by the way. Grassy Knoll was freaking hilarious.
Oh, thank you, man.
Why is it not? It's not painting for. There we go. I'm painting the background. So there. Look.
This was where the Yuan-Ti Prince Xevious IV was assassinated by some magical weapon.
Stevie-eth.
Xevious.
Then he ran to a music stage
Okay, so we've
from the Wizard's
gr-
Tower.
a green background there. So this is going to be the pirate camp. So what are we looking at in terms of numbers of people in the pirate camp? How many pirates?
Well, how big of a boat do you want? You figure probably at least 20.
About 20.
I was thinking 20 as well. Yeah, don't know why.
They would leave. They would leave a few on the ship and probably rotate ships and stuff.
When we're talking about it, I was thinking like maybe there's like a system of reefs to the north, so most ships get smashed up unless you're really good at sailing.
That's
so
cool,
this
kids.
one of
Then that
many.
gives us a chance for underwater adventures too.
That's a good idea.
So they started off as 50 odd pirates, and these are the 20 that were left after smashed into the reef.
So do they have a boat or not?
Well, let's actually make this camp right by the shore. So I'm going to change this. I'm going to add some of the masking tool.
Yeah, it's a cool name. Mac Thompson says Serpent Shoal. It's a cool name for the reef.
I like that.
Winds like a serpent.
Yep, that's cool. I do like that.
If the reef doesn't get you, the undertow will.
I think I should have done this the other way around. I'm going to undo everything so far on this map. I do apologize. Right. I'm going to... So this is going to be the top of the that top corner.
Straw Piglet asks, are the players pirates or are these mere adversaries? Could go either way.
Absolutely. Could absolutely go either way. The players themselves could be part of the could have been on the pirate ship. Let's go back to my
lads.
yes.
Let me tell you about the time I got marooned on Anus Island. Rum, sodomy, and the lash. Shane McGowan, rest in peace.
Yes. Good old Shane. Hope everybody in chat is familiar with the late great Shane McGowan.
Man, it's been so many celebrity deaths this month that it's hard to keep up.
Okay. Now, are we going to have like a beach-like effect here, or is this going to be a rocky shore?
Well, if the pirates are going to be there, it needs to be a shore, like a beach.
White Cliffs of Dover.
This can be this. Okay, this can be a rocky
Well,
shoreline.
it depends how much challenge you want, isn't it? Because it's like, well, once your ship has been wrecked on the reefs, do you want to face the idea of, basically a White Cliffs of Dover climb up?
Do they have grappling hooks yet?
Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Mad skills.
Sandy Beach. We need to put a boat on there, don't we? So
A wrecked boat.
there's a pirate tent in the middle. Let's find boat. Boat. Well, there's a broken rowing boat here. The supply of boats is quite poor. Fishing boats, boat. It can only really be broken boat.
Oh, that.
So the damaged boat has limped ashore.
I mean, that looks like one of the lifeboats, basically.
Yeah,
It could
makes sense. Yeah. Checks
It
out.
could be actually. We'll make it not a damaged boat. Let's say their ship has actually sunk, and these guys have come to shore.
Well, no, it could have marooned as it hit the shore.
Oh yeah, of course. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could leave them their boat. That way they have a chance to get away, or we have a chance to get off the island if something happens.
You've got to repair the boat.
Well, yeah, isn't that like one of the quests that you would give them?
Very, very likely. Yes. Yes. Okay. So let's go back to campsite. I think some of their tents might be quite tatty. I quite like these tatty tents.
Yeah, it's their style, innit? Cheap tents, expensive rum.
There you go. That's the way I would go.
Yeah.
Imagine that. It reminds me, my brother one time, he's a dumbass. He went fishing on the Allegheny River, forgot to put the drain plug in his boat, got out in the middle of the river and started sinking. Guess what the one thing is that he saved?
Beer.
The 30-pack of beer in his cooler. Everything else, his boat, his motor, his fishing gear, his tackle box, everything went down to the bottom. He saved the beer.
All right, that is a campfire in the middle.
Okay. Yeah, for 20 pirates, that's about right.
Yeah, yeah. One good tent where the pirate captain.
Well, of course, yeah.
Where they hold meetings.
Yeah, yeah. And some scruffy tents. Right. There's going to be a little bit of foliage about. A little bit of foliage. So, what sort of foliage are we looking at?
What sort of like bushes are there?
It's tropical. It's tropical.
Berries? Coconuts?
Well,
Palm trees.
Yeah,
Palm tree, that's a good one.
Palm trees.
Don't palm
coconut-
trees grow coconuts, or am I making shit up?
No, they don't.
I thought they did.
No.
Yeah, look. Some
I
palm
caught
trees.
a lovely bunch of coconuts. That was on the Benny Hill show.
Yeah, not too
there's
close
plenty of
together because of competition for sunlight and shit.
Yeah, little clusters.
Sorry.
And then some ground shrubberies. They probably would have cleared out an area on the beach and just left everything else there.
Okay, so let's.
Yeah, they'd want like a nice clear path to the water, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can, I will, I can colour in a little path to the water. Some log piles as well. They'll have cut down some of the palm trees, so they've got a supply of wood already cut down.
Good.
Oh, when you said log piles, I thought you meant something else.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where are the latrines?
Well, there's a beach for that.
That's not a very nice thing to call it.
Right. We're going to look at flooring, but sort of. I don't like some of these tech. I think
What
these
the fuck are
these
these
are
mosaic
crap.
patterns going on here?
Yeah, it's all sort of sewer filth and sewer water. Animal skin floor, orange sand. There we go.
Slightly more
But
well trodden in.
Yeah, these are going to be the more well-trodden areas, but I'm not going to do them thick. They're just going to be quite. There you go. You got a little trail. You can imagine they've trodden in quite a lot around the campfire, and around the tents.
I like it how the pirates are the only ones who seem to have any sort of forestry going on.
Why?
It amuses me, like this whole like Yuan-Ti with their slaves of Aarakocra, and then you've got the Knolls, but from the bigger map, it's like heavily wooded around them, so it looks like they don't really cut down any of the timber.
But they might do. They might just cut what they need.
Then you've got the pirate who comes in.
But they might have replanted. Maybe the pirates aren't as renewable.
Look at all these trees. I gotta cut these fuckers down.
They're in me feckin' way.
We can't escape the island. We're just gonna stack the logs up. No fucking reason.
Are we all under the same assumption that they're Irish for some reason, or what?
Well, it's meant to be a West Country, isn't it? Like the pirates are a West Country.
Arr, arr. Right.
Arr.
Flowers and things.
All right, my cocker.
And that word is so long.
Have we managed to scare off everybody in chat so far? Then is there anybody left in chat?
I can't see it.
As Halakar said, the pirates don't know how to live with nature. They destroy the trees.
So he agrees with me that
"Yar."
Just
I'm gonna have to zoom in and see what some of these things are.
I'm gonna see what flower bushes were.
What is that that thing that looks like a stump? That looks quite good.
What? Where?
There was like a stump-looking thing to show like a chopped down tree. There, up and to the right, left. No, up and two to the left.
Oh, there.
That one.
Tree stumps. Ah, yes. Should we go with some tree stumps?
Mac
Near
Thompson
the
says,
pile, I guess.
"Here, making tacos and nachos." Andy Hewson says, "No one here but us chickens." Halakar says, "I am working overtime tonight. I will be here until you go offline." It's quite threatening.
Oh.
Lee Baker says, "I'm still here."
We normally have such, I don't know, such productive and in-depth streams, don't we? And tonight it's just...
Don't be doing that. Like, you know,
we're coming towards Christmas. We're having a bit of fun, aren't we? We're having a bit of fun.
Don't play that card. You know, when when Saxius, the slave driver, is here, how many times has he done a stream and you've walked away with an actual map and some sort of gist of an adventure, a random encounter table? I can tell you what, we do one further. When we were talking earlier about the shoddy mining conditions for the whatever mythical power that they need to keep the pyramid up, my mind went on a bit of a ramble because everything comes back to any sort of second edition box set that contained an audio CD. So I was thinking like Red Steel. You know Red Steel?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, so basically Red Steel, part of the setting is that there's this like element that mutates people. So I'm thinking like whatever they're mining, something like that. And then if we really want to go crazy, expand this out and do an audio track thing like they did with the audio CDs.
All right, I'm
Well,
back.
you're-
I had to go do adulting stuff with my son.
You don't think small, do you, Ginger?
No,
You don't think achievable for?
well, no. You've started reading like books as part of your content, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So what's to stop you like put some time aside with a few people to like just make some audio tracks to accompany an adventure? That's
Why don't we
besides
do that
the
then?
technical
Okay.
issues.
The technical issues, yes. Yes.
But I mean,
The
we're all like
the
sat
inter-
like four people here right now, just like pumping audio together onto a live stream.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be more complicated than that.
You can get away with a bit of carnage though on a live
Yeah.
stream, can't you?
Yeah.
They'll expect it to be a bit more slick and produced.
Well, actually, what you can do, I don't know if you can. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, but when we're playing a game, if I'm sorry, I walked into the middle of this conversation. I had to help my son with the woodworking project, but on YouTube they have all kinds of like tavern music and blah blah blah. I'm sure like we could find like combat music and combat sounds and tavern music and traveling sounds and all the other happy horse shit. Is that what you're talking about?
Kind of. Basically, so when I grew up playing D&D, it was during the kind of first quest era of like second edition where they put out a bunch of like audio CDs
I
that
had them, yes.
yeah, if you
I
felt a bit
did, yeah.
uncomfortable as a dungeon master, you could just play the track. So that's why I'm pitching to your geek. Like, if we expand this out to a proper adventure, it would be an absolute laugh to get like some of the regulars in to do those like accompanying audio tracks.
Oh, they could run the adventure to a
Yeah.
pre-programmed. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like
I'd be happy to volunteer.
yeah,
I can do pretty good
definitely.
accents and shit.
Nice. Yeah. That's all because the whole point with the like first quest and all that sort of Red Steel or all the other audio CDs is
Yeah,
like
I remember the Red Steel. Yeah.
when the players walk into this room, play this track.
Yeah.
And then it was just a bunch of like
Well,
they'd already identified themselves like I'm the party thief and
If-
whatever. And they're all just like, thief, get
Right,
him.
so when you
get him
enter a
now."
room and you hear boss battle music, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Look what I've found on here.
if we do a late
Booze crate.
session, if we do the 2:00 session, I'll be more than happy to do the Drunken Pirate.
Yeah, I've added a booze crate.
There you go.
Oh yes. We need a Father Jack type character who tells everyone to drink after a long hard day.
I don't think they need telling, really, do they? They're pirates.
Drink!
Arr!
Drink!
Arr!
Max says Ginger does a pretty realistic Irish accent. Again, I'm going for West Country.
Oh, what
It's
are you drinking, Gingerbeard? I was going to ask.
I've got to keep my hands over them. Don't want to be advertising. Cronenberg
Oh, okay.
Saison 64 and pre-mixed Jack Daniels and Coke, because if I got an actual bottle of JD, then I'd be far too
Is
smashed
that
for work in the morning.
1764?
Yeah,
Or
1664.
1664?
Yeah,
Okay, sorry. I
Ginger,
misremembered what you said.
Ginger, you're gonna laugh at this. I have sitting in front of me. I literally, if I had a camera, could show you. I have a pint of Jack in front of me, and John can testify to that.
Wait, a pint of Jack? Like, just Jack?
Well, I'm gonna mix it in a bit. I'm doing vodka 7 Up right now, but yeah, I treat myself to a Jack and Coke a night.
Nice.
That's kind of funny that you had that.
I enjoy Jack and Cokes. Sorry, Mac Thompson then followed up with saying Welsh ? Borida. I was just trying to take a Welsh accent is hard. Like
Yeah, it is hard. It's
in the,
I could
in the
try.
valleys. We are from Wales in the valleys.
We are from Wales, like. No, that's fucking Newcastle. God damn it.
Granfaya pwych gyngych go
Yeah.
gach chwyn dobl llantysilio go goch.
I fucking ended up going Geordie. I can't do it. I mean, I'll be a Geordie pirate. I'm happy to do that.
Why, aye, pet?
All right, pet. Put that rum in me bag, yeah?
Be shivering your timbers like. Biker, Grove, yeah.
The non-Brits won't get any of these. There we go. I put some rocks on the shoreline as well.
Scouse pirates.
And there we have our pirate map. A likely place for the characters to land upon the island.
It looks really good.
Pirate camp. Yeah. I would estimate the pirate camp is probably about 60 feet across. The tents aren't going to be very big. That big tent's probably 10-foot diameter at most. So, but the pirates have busied themselves. They've been cutting down a few palm trees to try and repair their boat, to try and get it seaworthy to get off the island. But they have also discovered a ruined temple, which may have some loot in it, just a little way to the south of where they've
Some booty.
Arr, booty. There we have it. So that's me advertising Incarnate. And Incarnate haven't paid me for that at all.
Open to sponsorship?
Incarnate, I'm open to sponsorship. I don't intend to keep my Incarnate subscription up for much longer because I'd rather buy a permanent piece of software than pay a subscription of about £5 a month for the use of your service.
Are you trying to get sponsored or not?
No, I'm not at all. To be honest, I'm not interested in getting sponsored. Sorry, Incarnate. And I probably haven't just used your software to its full effect either. So I know there's a lot more that I can do than
whilst
what I've done.
whilst you're killing your sponsorship hopes, Halakar said he was going to have a go at making Cornish pasties this weekend. Nesorian prompted him to say filled with what? I thought this was going to be like a waiting on bated breath, but Halakara said turnip, rutabaga, parsnip, potato, onion, and beef.
What the hell is
that's
rutabaga?
about right. I don't know what rutabaga is, or rutabaga, whatever you call it.
That's how they
Rutabaga.
say it in America, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, rutabaga.
I don't know what it is. What is it?
Me neither.
No.
It's a character from BoJack Horseman. I know that.
Maybe that's like the one vegetable that makes the difference between British teeth and American teeth. It's like,
don't use me as an example. I smoke, so.
Oh no, my teeth are horrible as well. Okay, it's a root vegetable. I could have guessed. Like if Mac Thompson says, like if a tater and a parsnip had a baby. Okay.
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 It would be a patatsnip.
Patatsnip.
Wait, so
Potsnip.
is it like a turnip then?
Potato. Be a
Because a
potato.
turnip is like a mixture between a parsnip and a potato.
Yeah.
Is it a turnip or is it in the turnip family at all?
Nether
Probably.
Portal's description is rutabaga is like beets if they didn't turnip. Halakar, fairly dense, a bit yellowish internal color, stronger flavor than turnip.
Okay.
Okay.
So it is a
hello,
similar
Gene.
thing then.
Hello, Gene. Haven't seen you sneak in. Cooks about 30% longer than a turnip. I can't say I've ever cooked turnips. Are what we call Swedes, very similar to what other people call turnips? Not Swedish people, but Swedes as in the vegetable.
Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't eat it.
I like Swede.
Hey, Kabuki kids come in.
Kabuki's here. Hello, Kabuki. So,
sorry, we've reached a weird point, Kabuki kids, where
We need Saxius.
diverted from making a venture, and we're just kind of. Gene M says they're also called neeps in the UK.
Oh, so it is a
Swedes are
turnip.
rutabagas. All right, Swedes are rutabagas. All right, that's okay.
Okay, so we call it Swede. Okay, I know what that is then.
Yep.
Right, yeah, neeps and tatties, as the Scottish say.
Oh, neeps and tatties.
They named it that on purpose. You know they did. They knew what they were doing.
Tatties.
So what did I miss on Neeps and Toddies? I'm sorry, I had to step out.
We were just talking about what is a rutabaga. We figured out
okay.
we call it Swede in the UK.
Okay.
Right. Anyway, I think we need to do another bit of the adventure because we need to stat out some pirates, really, don't we? So we've got about 20 pirates.
I mean, They're just like,
give them high
bog standard,
like you.
bog standard bandits with maybe
A leader.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like a 5th level leader, maybe 2/3, and the rest like standard 1st levels.
No, but that makes sense. Yeah.
The captain would be 5th, unless they're well established. But if they're here and they only have that kind of a camp, I doubt that they are well established.
Right, can we have one posh guy who says, I'd like to be called a privateer, thank you?
Correct.
That could be the captain. Yep. Yes. The captain can be really posh. Yes. Okay. He's a privateer, and he is Sir Francis of Drake. Sir Francis of Drake. Okay.
Who's next? Christopher of Columbia.
In the 5e conversion, he is the dragon person race. Can't remember what it's called. What?
No, Dragonborn.
Yeah, that's it.
No, you can piss off with that.
Sir Francis of Drake.
Are they on the Golden Hind? The ship was the Golden Behind.
You're never going to escape Anus Island if you don't leave the posterior puns behind.
Okay, right. The ship was the Golden Behind.
20
God. Pirates, of which 16 are regular bandits. There are 3 level 3 fighters and 1 level 5 fighter who is posh, insists on being called privateers. Any more names for the pirates? Let's have some more names. Let's name them after people in chat. Plays on words based on the people in chat.
Good. Well,
Iman, you've muted yourself. So.
Oh shit! It was a good one. I said Halla ship instead of Halla car.
Halla ship.
Oh, Duralumin. They had a ship, but the reef wrecked them. Very well done.
Angus One Hole.
The connection.
Okay, we'll have one called Angus.
Masturbates.
Seaman
No,
Staines.
that's low hanging fruit. Come on.
Mac the Neep. Okay. Why is he called the Neep? What about him looks like a turnip?
It's what he tries to stab you with.
It's the hair on top of his head.
I'm thinking of the Blackadder episode. That turnip looks like a thingy. He's got a thingy that looks like a turnip. Okay.
I remember that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But the cabin boy has to be called Roger, so it's Roger the cabin boy.
Roger.
Oh my god.
Right. So any more names? Go on, throw out some more names. Andy's been saying, I've been resisting saying, are you working your way around the rim of the island?
Oh my god.
I seriously, like,
Kabuki, what have you walked? Kabuki's thinking, what the hell have I walked?
All right.
I feel like this happens every time I come. I should just leave.
it was my fault for when he was first drawing the map, saying it looked like Anus Island, and then it's just.
Kabuki's just joined in.
Well,
You've been discharged.
If you rearrange the letters, it's actually Anus by Island.
Benny of the Hill.
Benny of the Hill.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
He could be
Actually, I like Straw Piglet's suggestion of Halacook instead of Halacar.
Halacook.
No, just Halacook. He's the cook.
Okay, that works.
I'm just the cook. It's like Steven Seagal on the stage.
Yeah, I'm just the cook.
I'm just the
Oh,
cook.
Steven Seagal's fake martial arts is so funny.
All those videos are hilarious.
They're so funny.
Yeah.
So I mean, in the OSE campaign, I'm running all the NPCs in the town are named after chat regulars, stream regulars, and characters that have been played by my face-to-face group and nicknames for my face-to-face group. So they hired Nutty and Slan, and they've hired Oscar. Oscar.
Can we have a pirate who lives in a shed instead of a tent and is me?
Okay.
You don't have to. I'm just saying.
How about John Connor? Which
John
is
Connor?
actually the reverse of my son's name, which is Connor John.
Oh.
Which is kind of ironic considering it's the kid from the Terminator.
Yeah, isn't John Connor meant to stop Judgment Day?
Yeah.
Apart from then,
Yeah.
I guess Terminator 3, 4
Well,
spoilers,
yeah.
he doesn't.
So how about
and
a
then it all
John
goes tits
Connor?
up.
Well, I
John
watched
Connor.
that latest Terminator with Schwarzenegger in it, and I was like, what the fuck is going on in this plot? Because I thought John Connor was supposed to be the good guy.
The only huts they've got here are a chieftain hut and a fey hut. Let's see if the camp has any more other huts.
They would have some sort of like mess hall or something,
Okay.
right?
Now my thing is, how long have the pirates been on the island?
Not long.
Long enough to chop down a few trees.
Yeah, basically.
Right. So they're running out of supplies.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully we got a booze crate.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a booze crate.
No,
Yes.
What more do you need?
no, I'm just wondering, could we team up with the pirates and help wipe out the gnolls, or team up with the gnolls, help out the, and wipe out the pirates?
That's the beauty of having all these different factions on the
Yeah.
island.
We got options here.
Yeah.
The Croca, whatever you want to call them, chicken people. We could help them free themselves. So yeah, there's, like you said, options.
Yeah.
I'm liking this. This is pretty cool.
Right. You you can't live in a shed, Iman, on this. There
Damn.
don't appear to be.
You can go out back to smoke, but you can't live in it.
I'm looking to
Damn
hang
it.
on. Is there a canoe? Maybe a canoe. No, it's not a canoe stamp. I was thinking of an upturned boat, but
Try kayak, maybe.
kayak. Could try that.
No.
I'm going to go to the pirate.
Rowboat, maybe.
Let's just see if there's any. Here's some wooden things.
That looks like a ship steering wheel. I don't know what you would call it.
Where?
That one. Oh, I think it was just called a steering wheel.
Yeah, pirate steering wheels. Yes. Pirate shelter roof. There we are.
Oh, nice.
It's triangular.
Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah, you can have a little hut,
I'll
all
take
by
it.
yourself. It's just a shelter that you've built.
It's the herbal shop.
There we go. And yeah, you're not very sociable, so you're over there.
Sounds right. Sounds about right. Yeah. Usually
go.
somewhere in a corner. Yeah.
That is Shay Iman, and I think of
Le
personality.
déjeuner sur l'herbe.
So he's going to be the stoner of the group.
And also, I have a slingshot, so that's a double entendre.
If you zoom in, I've zoomed in. Look at the level of detail when you zoom in. For example, these shells and stuff, but that was just part of the sort of texture that I pasted on.
That looks good.
Wow, that's awesome.
Cool. Very nice.
Yeah, I like the little stumps as well. Yeah.
They're cool, aren't they?
Yeah, adding to deforestation. I love it.
Yeah. You have to put the little pouch of shit on the backside of the stumps where they're taking their dumps.
A dump on the stump.
Yeah, can we at least have like a big ass hole in the ground that we go to? We need something. Come on.
Hey,
We can't just have it laying about.
Have any of you guys ever actually had to go to a true outhouse?
Yes.
Okay, my
Once.
grandmother did not have indoor plumbing until I was 18 years old. So yeah.
The shop I work in is an outside toilet.
Well, no, I was shooting in the ground. An outhouse would be kind of cool.
Wait, so did you have to like replace the bucket or whatever?
Well, no, we had to move it every 3 years and dig a really big hole and put the shed over top of it.
That's the only hole one there is. It's a castle hole.
It was a true homestead.
Yeah, I mean, we can make it work, I guess. If you just try and maybe shade in the edges with something.
No, we can't. No. The pirates will be going in the sea.
Oh, that's disgusting, because then they're going to be roasting crabs and eating the crabs or eating the shit. That's just disgusting.
They're pirates. They don't care. They might
don't have any teeth. Oh, my Lord.
I'm surprised they don't have like a dug hole. Like that seems like a fairly common thing that you would have, right?
It might be in one of the other in one of the other map things.
But you could just assume.
You know what I mean? Like surely you would have something.
Like and when I was in the Boy Scouts, what you did is you took a log and you make 2 Ys, one on each end, put the log in it,
and then you dug a trench behind it, and then in the morning you dumped your ashes in. You went to the bathroom, and in the evening you covered it up to keep the smell down, and that's what you did every day.
I wonder if
And
it'll
I
come
would
up as
assume
pit.
that's what they would do.
What is that? Oh, it's gone now.
That's a city marker.
Oh, okay.
Not like having
I've zoomed in so I can see a bit better.
campaign is
What's
really
that one there on the right? That looks okay-ish.
Yeah, okay. We'll use that as a pit.
Why are we worrying about a shitter?
Because that's what we're like.
World building.
We're
It's
nerds.
world building, man. What else?
We are world building, and it'll be over by the trees over here. So in fact, it's gonna be here. That's the pit.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Have it far away from everything, but right next to me. Thank you. No, I'm joking. No, it's a good spot.
There we are. It gets flushed by high tide.
Pretty
Occasionally.
much.
Makes sense.
Right. There we are. We have finished with the pirate map, and we've got the basics of a little adventure started, haven't we? There. I think that
That's
was
really cool.
the general idea of this stream was to get an idea for an adventure. So we've got a floating pyramid controlled by Yuan Ti, who are forcing Arakocra to mine for a magical mineral that keeps the pyramid floating. They've clipped the Arakocra wings. Also on the island, we've got possibly pygmy tribesmen, pirates. We've come up with seagull sturges, blood gulls, were mongooses, a pirate camp, an Arakocra encampment. Yeah, I think
Grassy knolls.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the grassy knolls. Yes,
With
yes.
2 shots.
Yes. And the grassy knolls are all female, and they've been tricked into forming a cult around polymorphed Yuan Ti, who is manipulating them to try and eventually going to try and bring them into service to create a lizard hyena race. Yes, and it can get very dark then.
Oh, that's cool. Lizard hyenas.
That's
Yes.
disturbing.
Well, they'd be snake hyenas, really, wouldn't they? They'd be snake hyenas.
Well,
Slightly less disturbing.
the Yuan Ti are more intelligent than that. They would do like lizard hyenas. So you'd have hyenas with scales, with like an armor class of 4.
Yeah, I'm imagining the lizard from Spider-Man mixed with a hyena, basically.
And the Yuan Ti actually might create them through experimentation as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what Yuan Ti are, Iman? Have you encountered
You
them
what, sorry?
before? Do you know what Yuan Ti are?
No.
They are an evil snake human hybrid race.
Very magic
Okay.
user.
Like those dickheads from Sen's Fortress in Dark Souls.
I haven't played Dark Souls, but
They're basically they're human up to here, but the rest of them is a fucking cobra head.
No.
Yes, that's about Yuan Ti vary. They come in three different types. They come in 3 different types.
Yeah.
You've got the purebloods, who might only have a patch of scales or a forked tongue or one eye that's snake-like.
Also, the closest to a human, then. In that
Closest to a human, yes. And then you've got abominations.
Yeah.
There's one of them which is the most snake-like, which have only got maybe human arms. Otherwise, they're a massive snake. And there's also sort of combinations in between, and they're all different strengths and powers and intelligence levels based.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like genetically, it makes sense.
Yeah. The purebloods, for example,
they're
are
heavy
really
they're heavy into magic and crossbreeding and stuff like that. So
okay, so this might be an interesting question. So you know how we sometimes describe people as being a snake? Would being more of a snake be more snaky, or would being more human be more snaky? If that makes sense. Like, how much more conniving would you be if you were a more snake as opposed to more human?
I mean, for me, I always saw the most conniving ones as being the purebloods, because they're the ones that they're the weakest physically, but they're the brains of the operation.
Yeah,
They're
that's
the
the
ones
way
that
I
can
would think about it too. It's the human qualities that would make him a snake, basically, in that regard, right?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
they're the smart ones, so they know how to control everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
So what's the one in the middle then? You said there was 3?
Yeah, there were 3 official real
Or is it just
classifications in D&D terms.
okay?
The one in the middle's got this sort of like half human, half snake, and you've got the ones that are almost all snake, and the ones that are almost all human. The ones that are almost all snake can be very very strong.
So
But I think they're
Well, what sucks about them is the first 2 have magical abilities, if not being spellcasters, and then the bottom ones have immunities, and the other 2 also have immunities. They are such a pain in the butt. They're just
so is there any like should I say crossbreeding involved? Like a pure blood will have a baby with a fucking, what do you call them, an abomination, and that creates the half and half.
they are a very depraved race. So
Okay.
actually, I'm sure there is. Just nobody's bothered, because if you think about it, you have 3 sets: the pure bloods, the mids, and the ones on the bottom, and then you have anything that could happen in between. So
Yeah, I'm just thinking,
yeah,
genetically speaking, it makes sense for a pure blood and an abomination to create a half and half. You
yeah.
know, the same
very
way that
possibly, very possibly.
you know, an
Well,
Asian
Give you an idea.
person and a
I'll give
white
you an
person
idea of
makes a
how
half
tough they
Asian.
are as well. Give you an idea of how tough
they are considered a creator race, and
Okay.
I'm sorry, I can't remember the name. There's a guy that has a really good channel. Maybe I'll remember by the end of the show, but he did a thing on the Yuan-Ti and the creator races, like the Aboleths, the Yuan-Ti, and stuff like that. And if you want to know more, look. I mean, you don't have to go on and move on in life, but for me being a nerd, I love watching this crap.
We're all nerds here.
Yeah,
The Union of the
but
Snake. Much you
but
man being there.
I'll have the name for you on Saturday if you don't find it. But
Okay.
there is a
We can just pop it in
gentleman.
the Discord if you remember.
Yeah, there is a
I just
gentleman
wanna-
that does all kinds of videos about this. And it's on the tip of my tongue, but I'm sick as a dog, and I'm taking cold medicine, so I'm like a little
You're a bit fuzzy.
yeah. But he actually does research on this stuff and goes back through all the generations, whatever you want to call it. But
Andy Houston says AJ Pickett. Is that his name?
yes, that's who it is. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you very much. That's who it is. But the Yuan-Ti, the Aboleths, there's a couple others that are considered the creator races. But yeah, that's.
So what do you mean by creator races? Like they spawned all the other races between them, or what?
They created races, and yes, they created the other races. The elves are still around. Like the demi-humans were there, but they weren't dominant. Before the elves and the dwarves and the gnomes became dominant, the creator races, being the Yuan-Ti and whatever else AJ Pickett named, I can't remember all of them. And oh, it sucks that I can't remember shit.
They are in
John knows what I'm talking about.
They are in OSE as snake people, snake person.
Yes.
They're very much simplified in there, but in AD&D, not what
But they were around before even the dragons and the giants.
I need. Looks like I need. Hopefully, Nightbot hasn't banned Andy. Andy, if you can speak, do so. Otherwise, I will. The one thing I did leave in on Nightbot was links, because that was to stop porn spamming. So that's the only thing that Nightbot gets grumpy about.
So it doesn't get grumpy about spamming caps.
Not caps anymore, no, and not emojis or anything like that anymore. I removed all of that, but I did leave in it getting grumpy about links. So Andy, if you're still with us, just good. It hasn't banned you. It did, because it did time Iman out once for
10 minutes.
10 minutes for spamming.
Whilst
caps.
Everyone was making decisions, and I was screaming, "No, you idiots!"
It doesn't ban; it just sort of times you out for a bit. But give you an idea of how tough UNT are in AD&D. Even the weakest ones fight at roughly the level of a 6th level fighter.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, and some of them have 4 arms.
Yeah, some of them, yeah.
And they
poison bites and things like that.
Yes.
I was about to say, is that 2 human arms and 2 snake arms? But then I realized.
Oh, they can be, yeah.
Snakes don't really have arms.
There's a nice little bit of artwork in OSE for them.
No, Yuan
How do you spell it?
YUANTI.
UNT. Okay, cool. I'll check.
And they are not to be screwed with. They are that. Yeah. One, they have a high level of magic use. They have a high level of melee combat ability. They're very intelligent, and they use tactics. I guess the best way to describe it would be, if your player character party went in, they're going to do what your player character party would do. As a DM to play a Yuan-Ti, you play them as ruthless as you can. John,
and as Halakar says, as Halakar says, they were the apex creature in the module Dwellers of the Forbidden City. It was for level 4 to 7, but as a result, I think, of the level they put on that, they were really underused in that adventure. If they'd have used a lot more Yuan-Ti, you'd been talking level probably 8 to 10.
Oh, easily. Yeah. You give me a party Yuan-Ti and I can wipe out the enemy or anything.
So so we're already talking mid to high level for this island. I'm saying low level adventurers need not apply. So,
yeah, pretty much. Because if you're gonna put pygmies on the south, the pirates on the northeast, they could be low level, maybe.
Yeah. You could use it as a sort of place where you characters would visit with a specific purpose and give them little sort of quests to do to retrieve something from the island or make contact to the island, and not necessarily have to go into the Yuan-Ti city.
The Akroka, if you get their help, but yeah, you definitely want to avoid the south.
But the center, you want to avoid the center.
Yeah.
But the party wouldn't know that, would they? They'd hear stories of demon snake men.
Well, yeah. Well, the pirates would be like, "Why do you think we're on the beach?" They wouldn't have gone in because they don't want to fight. So, and the Kroka have been booted out of their area. So
Yeah.
I like it. So far, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah, it is. It is. You're right, Slan. How you doing? How you doing? What did the poll end up as, by the way? Right, 69, 36 votes, 69. That means 36 people have popped into the stream at some point. 69% went for fantasy. So fantasy won in the end, very much so. I'm glad to see sci-fi get whapped down.
I was going to say, actually, when I joined, what is the poll? Because when I joined the stream, all I could see is a blank white box with 4 blank white boxes in it.
Oh, the idea of the poll was to pick the genre we were going to make an adventure for. And initially, the sci-fi option flew into the lead. That was the key, you gits.
Yeah, of course.
But
yeah, it was weird because it popped up on my stream. It was just, you know, in the chat box, there's normally like chat and you can see the scrolling. It just popped up with this big white box saying "Ye Old Geek poll." There was no words. I was like, what? I don't want to vote because I can't see what the options are. Maybe my phone's just being weird.
The options were fantasy, horror, not in brackets, sci-fi, and other specify in chat.
I would have said horror anyway, but looks like fantasy won.
Our fantasy won by miles in the end. I'm glad of that because it's actually okay. I might be not being too ambitious, but fantasy is probably the easiest one to manipulate, and we've all got more fantasy experience than anything else, I think.
Correct. Actually, yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Can you remind me of the name of the YouTube video as well, by the way?
The AJ Pickett channel.
No. The video of the title of the stream video of the stream we're doing now. Sorry.
It's at the top of the StreamYard. Midweek Geek, using our imaginations to make something! Exclamation mark.
That was it, using our imaginations. Yeah, I can't see it because I'm on phone.
Right, okay. Yeah, Nerdy Ogre was the one who was pushing for urban fantasy.
Yeah.
One thing that popped into my head when I saw that title was Bloodborne, because it had crow-headed dogs and dog-headed crows.
Somebody has just mentioned were sloths, so that's
it's been a good run actually. Just for like Straw Piglet. Oh, they're really we're mongoosey here. We're mongoosey.
A were sloth?
We could just get rid of the mon, have were geese. Geese are fucking terrifying.
I don't mean to insult the person, but I could walk home and wait a week and just hit it with a crossbow when it finally catches up to me. It's a frickin' sloth.
Also, Andy Hewson says you could take a whole chapter from the 5e Tomb of Annihilation, which is all about Yuan Ti City /dungeon/plot. I haven't read the 5e Tomb of Annihilation, but that was the one that was written by Pendleton Ward, who was the original writer of Adventure Time. I've heard really good things about it. Apparently, it's like it's like go crazy. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It's I've not read Tomb of Annihilation, but they took inspiration from Tomb of Horrors. They took inspiration from Dwellers of the Forbidden City, and apparently they combined to make something that was very much more old school in feel. So good, but let's not get on to Watsy and their nonsense.
Well, Hasbro, 1,100 employees let go today. So
yeah.
You know, might be dicks. Thoughts are with you. It's always shit losing a job.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. And was a comment I heard. They seem to be getting rid of creatives and keeping business people, and that doesn't bear well for the future.
Oh no, that's going to be horrid. Honestly, it will be. and we all know it.
Yeah.
It's the creators to keep it going, not the business.
Well, you need a bit of both, don't you? You need a bit of both in there. In this
Yeah,
industry.
well, you need somebody who knows the books and management, but if you get rid of the creators, then you're kind of screwed, because this game and what we do, I don't care what genre we run, it's all about creativity.
Yeah. I mean, look what I mean. In the space of, we've been going 2.5 hours on the stream. We've, from nothing, we've got a jungle island with a variety of hooks, 2 maps completed. It's an island that feels like it could work, and there are some interesting things, I think, going on in this island that I've not seen in other adventures. The floating pyramid being powered by stuff being mined by Arakocra slaves with their wings clipped in a flooded mine, and they're thrown. They're occasionally executed by being thrown into the bone beach.
Attestoop.
What?
Attestoop. It's in Scandinavia. When the old people got too old, they were just encouraged to take a run and jump off a cliff.
With the rats or the what are the rodents?
Yeah, Short Piglet says here, could a bean counter make an island of pirates, were-rodents, snake people, and outhouses? We've even got a little outhouse in there, and we've got Iman's little smoking hut as well. But you use all sorts of little bits and pieces for your inspiration, and it includes the people around you. It can provide some amusing little, I mean, in jokes, but little side jokes that we will find funny. And
I do appreciate you involving me in the map. It's nice.
That's why, honestly, I like these streams where we ask chat to do stuff. It really tickles me with what people come up with.
Yes. Yeah. And
we need to get to a. Sorry.
It puts us on the spot a bit, doesn't it, to make it work? But it gets up. Oh,
that's right.
As well.
That's where being a DM comes in handy, eh, John?
Yeah.
The one setting, I forget who's running it. The town is modeled after my hometown.
Oh, that's me. Like
Emporium.
So I, for context, I run adventures from like Dungeon Magazine or the old Thunder Rift ones, but sometimes like town names, it's not important in the sense that I don't have to stick to the names that are given, so I ask the players to do it. So yeah, Daniel Guns Are Cool has given us lots of tavern names and place names, and that's kind of nice for fleshing out the setting. It just becomes something that everyone owns.
Yeah, we'll chip in, and things are sort of created on the fly, and we run with it. Some things stick and some don't, and those that stick can become sort of ongoing parts of various adventures.
Yeah, like me being proper northern like.
We started off with who was it? Sean Major's Musings made the first half orc character, gave him a Slavic accent, and now if you create a half orc character, he's got to have a Slavic accent.
Except you.
Yeah.
Don't.
By the way, speaking of half orc, I thought of a new name for my next character whenever I fucking decide to make another character.
You haven't turned up to play for a month or so.
No, I've had a lot of family shit going on recently. I do apologize.
Well, it'll be the next time you show up, so you better have your character made, because you'll probably get whacked.
Yeah. I'm going to get my other character to level 2 first, and then at least I got one guy.
Just saying.
Isn't your character nearly level 5 yet, Dan?
I got
It's still a
about
long way off.
5,000 to go. Once you hit
Okay, so no, another 10 sessions at least.
yeah,
Still no match for the Yuan T.
Once you hit 4th level, you're pretty much done. I'm still going to be a meat shield, but we don't gain a lot of XP, so it's going to be a while.
It depends on what you do. Depends how brave you are. Depends on whether you go for the loot or whether you run away from everything.
Oh, and you're saying Angus ain't brave, and Angus doesn't.
Oh, he is brave. Yes, Angus is brave. Angus is, he's.
But yeah, it's going to be a while just because.
But it's probably a good time for a shout out. If you're not on the Discord, please come to the Discord. This whole thing we're talking about is OSC sessions that run every Saturday. Obviously, during the festive periods, that might die down a bit. I don't know. But usually fortnightly, there's like an early UK time 2 p.m. session that runs for about 4 or 5 hours, and then a later session that John runs 7 p.m. UK time.
The wrong time.
The wrong time. And then like the kind of week following that, then it's just an early session. But at the same time, we're always looking for DMs as well. If you want to jump in and run stuff, especially people in North America, because every one of the DMs we have at the moment is living in England. So
I would love to, but I'm kind of scared to, so I don't know.
And sorry, yes, Gene, it's me running the early session this Saturday.
And I mean, I wouldn't stop gaming for Christmas. To be honest, I really,
I'd rather game for Christmas.
I keep on gaming.
I think there's something to be said for the fact that the DMs are from the UK. When there's a much larger population across the pond.
If something I would like to run this Christmas at some point, that is a Call of Cthulhu adventure.
Of course. What else would it be? Christmas of Cthulhu.
I may be running that for my face-to-face group next Monday, and if I do, I'll obviously have it fresh in my mind. So, could certainly have a little Cthulhu session, perhaps.
Cool. John, I need to get with you for, I believe, a Cthulhu and a MERP character. I can't remember what we completed and what we didn't.
Your MERP character's all done. You've already played him in one session. He's done. You don't need to worry about him. But yeah, we'll need a Cthulhu character for you for Horror on the Orient Express. I'm running in the new year the full Horror on the Orient Express, the full campaign. How it goes, I don't know. At the
Do I have to sign myself up on Discord?
We've got 7 potential players already set up. I don't know how many will actually be able to make the sessions. But if I've got a pool of about 7 or 8 players and 4 or 5 turn up for each session, that's all that matters, really. It's such a long, ongoing campaign. It's easy because of the nature of it. You're town hopping across Europe to bring in new characters or for characters to leave if a player has to go. It's got that's there. That's all in there. So, yes. It could take 2 years to play through.
Do we sign up on Discord or what?
All signing up is always done on the events tab in Discord. So if you're not on the Discord, join the Discord. Join the Discord. Join in some games because that's why the channel exists. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing on a Wednesday night.
It is a great channel. I can say that.
It is.
I make sure I'm around. My family knows Wednesday night, this is what I'm doing.
And Friday night, they have to call you Kelsey.
Absolutely.
If I'm cooking.
I will shout out from the comments. Halakar says, I will suggest check out Discord for the gaming advent calendar. Yeah, big respect to Halakar. He's been posting something every day as an advent calendar, like little tiny content for your OSR adjacent games. Like I could never pump out that sort of amount of content on a day-to-day basis. So big respect and thank you very much, Halakar, for sharing
there've
it on Discord.
been some neat little ideas in there as well, and lots of little. And what I like about a lot of the magic items is they're very thematic and not overpowered in any way. A lot of them are just little bits of flavor for a game.
One thing, and I didn't bring it up because the chat was so busy, which is a good thing. So I didn't bring it up, but in the one campaign I had a person who actually was an employee, a close friend, but he was a samurai or kensai, I can't remember. That we dumbed it down to we moved it over to a like a medieval version of the samurai or a kensai because I didn't want to deal with all the whole other book rules. And so because those rules sucked. I hated them. They did. But Oriental Adventures was a total anyhow. But so what I did is I gave him a Damascus style blade and he wanted to be a dragon slayer. So it was for every dragon you slew, you would get one color in that layer of blade.
Oh, what?
And then, so if you slew like 2 blue dragons, it was +2 against blue dragons. And you would have a blue line running down your blade. If you slew a black dragon, it'd be +1 against blacks, and you had a. So it wasn't magical against humans or humanoids or anything else other than dragons. Because he wanted to be a dragon slayer. And that was a pretty cool storyline.
Yeah. So the blade is taking the essence of the dragon.
Correct. Yeah.
Powering itself up. Yeah, that's
and
that's
every
nice.
time you kill a dragon, you gain a +1 towards that type up to +5. We never ended up finishing out anything.
Shame.
But it was kind of cool because it was just kind of neat.
Yeah, and it's a very, very personalized item.
And it wasn't overpowered because
no,
if you play a dragon proper, you're going to wipe out a party in 2 rounds.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
And it's like, okay, we can do this. I don't care. You think you're powerful, but you're not. But he loved it, and it was really neat.
What I like the idea of, because he say it's a Damascus steel blade with all the lines on it. I'd imagine the separate lines glowing with the colours of the dragon they slay. So you've got this. The dragons themselves might realize.
Well, the dragon knows. Oh crap! He has a specialized weapon.
Yeah, but I like the idea of the blade almost changing colour as it becomes more powerful as well. And you get these streaks of blue and white and red, even a red streak down the middle. That's one of the ones to be most proud of. And the blade would look great.
Yeah, it was. I thought it, and he and I sat one night drinking beers, getting not smoked. And we came up with this concept for his character. And so I was like, yeah, we can do this. And I came up with the concept for the sword. He's like, yeah, that's amazing. So we did that for 3 years.
I'm trying to think how many dragons. I mean, my group went from level 1 to level sort of 9 to 12 over the 4 years that we ran an AD&D campaign. I'm trying to think of how many dragons they slew in that whole time. They took out a black dragon. They They killed the red dragon that killed them, Brazimal, in G3. It wiped out most of their party. They killed it, but they lost it almost. They lost almost all the magic dealing characters in the party.
Yeah, okay.
I think that was it the whole time.
His hardest one, honestly, was a black dragon. It was the acid. Because
it melts your armor.
The acid doesn't go away.
No.
It stays. So you keep, and that's the way of playing. You keep taking
Yeah,
damage.
man. You still have those flashbacks from time to time. I've done acid.
So the hardest ones for him were the black dragons. But he did pretty good. And we were playing a lot. We were playing probably 3 nights a week for like 6 hours a night. We were pretty hardcore back then.
Yeah.
So his sword was, I mean, it's been 20 some years. I can't remember the stats on it, but it was just a neat item, you know.
My group ran away from. I mean, they ran away from at least 3 dragons during their time.
Oh, I learned to run.
Blue dragon in the wilderness section of Lost Caverns of Sargent. They didn't fight that. And in When a Star Falls, there's a mated pair of young red dragons, and they noped out of that one straight away.
Yeah,
they sent their horses as sort of sacrificial food.
Out there.
And then they sent the horses in one direction and ran the other way. as the dragons were like, ha, food. They were like, wow, we're going.
That's funny. I like that. Well, I don't blame them. That's what a smart human would do.
Absolutely.
You know, you're like, I want to live. But I like the idea of small powered, unique magic items. And I know we got way off topic, but
we did 2 and 3/4 hours of that adventure, so we can waffle now. When I played in my first 5e campaign as a player, we're going back a long time. I played a necromancer, and my DM was pretty old school. He was quite rough, and he wasn't of the new school at all. But he was very creative, and he really sort of lent into our characters and made some really twisted stories. He had a sense of humor as well in a lot of things he created. I think Ginger, Ginger in particular, I think you'd have got on with some of his ideas.
Is it always a me thing?
No, I mean, we were in the underworld, and he set up a crime syndicate in the underworld, as in the criminal underworld. And the crime syndicate was run by 2 sentient clay golems, the Clay Twins.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, I thought you would be. My necromancer got himself cursed by Baphomet.
Nice.
He basically told Baphomet where to go. He told Baphomet he was not worthy of his servitude. Introduce me to Orcus instead.
Oh my god!
At which point Baphomet was like, "I'm not having this." I knew the moment I said it that my character was in trouble. So Baphomet toyed with him and cursed him and had him going into bestial frenzies whenever combat happened. And had these 2 little bull horns that he sprouted, and he was having to run into combat and hit things with his staff if he failed a saving throw when combat kicked off, which was all the time, kept failing that saving throw, which for a necromancer wasn't a very good idea. No casting of spells while berserk. that sort of thing. But the way he had to rid himself of the curse is he had to consume the still beating heart of a black dragon.
Wow.
So
that's not fun.
yes, that made for a good 4 or 5 month long quest.
Because, like I said, if you run a black dragon right, the acid don't go away.
Oh, it was brutal. It was brutal.
They are so underrated.
We didn't fight the clay golems. No, we had no intention of fighting the clay golems. We ended up working for them.
That's funny.
But no, it was actually it was proof to me that the framework of 5e could be used to create that sort of game.
I was about to say, it's weird that you started with, like, you know, back in the day. Like 5e has been around for so long now, and I know it's reaching the end of the cycle.
I think it's sad what it's become in terms of the whole atmosphere around it.
Yeah.
Because when it was in its most basic form, it was fine. It was fine. Yes, it was a little. The characters were overpowered, but
I've said on your streams before, like 5e got me back into playing. It got my wife into playing RPGs. She'd always wanted to play D&D and stuff.
That's cool.
But it does still have that kind of 3rd edition holdover of. It encourages like character building, character builds, and pre-planning and stuff. Whereas I think trying to convince my wife to like just play basic or something like that, because she suffers from analysis paralysis. It's like, oh, I've got 1,000,000 powers. What do I do? It's like, well, the older editions, you don't really have to worry about that. So
no, quite.
Yeah, I can go both ways on that, honestly. And I can't bag on anybody for trying to min-max or trying to just play a character. Like Angus, I don't try to min-max him at all. I just play him straight out. But then I have 2 other characters.
You can get away with that because you were lucky with your rolls with Angus.
Oh, yeah, dude, I was, yeah. But then I have 2 other characters that I just play like they're people, they're whatever they are. So it's kind of hard. And like John can tell you, I got my family because my daughter will hack my computer, not hack, but we'll be playing on like Wednesday or Friday or Saturday. Then all of a sudden my daughter jumps in and pretends she's me. And that little bitch has screwed me up a couple times. But I can't call her that because she's 17. But in the meantime, the cool thing is her, my son who's 12, and then my wife, who claims she doesn't have an imagination, we've started playing. They wanted us. So her even listening to us got my family into, and I don't even care if you're role playing. It's imagining, it's using your brain, it's thinking. That's the most important thing.
Absolutely. And that is a good note for me to announce that we have reached Pumpkin Hour.
Yeah, you're getting late.
Hour. I am getting late, yes, and I have work in the morning, so I'm going to do a quick pumpkin for Nightbot. Nightbot will send out a little message now for everybody. Everybody, come on, Nightbot. 'Tis the hour when my head gets even more large and round and turns orange. Like and subscribe to avoid a visit from Eric.
Have a good night, John. Thank you.
So thank you, everybody, for joining in the stream tonight. I haven't got any... Oh, Iman has set up a little gaming channel. Iman, you need to do some commentary on those videos, mate.
Do I
Ginger,
really?
have a
Because
good
I
night.
was thinking, I don't know if I want my commentary in those videos because my PS5 has a mic in the controller which auto records everything.
Well, I
So
think
because
you need to. I
if I
think you
did
need
have
to.
commentary, it'd be oh shit, what happened there?
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, but do it because it personalizes them. It personalizes your videos. At the moment, it's just like a demonstration of a computer game. But if you,
Yeah, that's a fair
if
point
you,
actually.
yeah. So you
But
personalize
yeah,
things
if
with a bit of
anyone didn't
commentary.
know, yeah, I've started uploading just little clips from my gaming adventures.
Yes, yes.
So
And Scrumpy Old Slan says, "What's the channel?"
What's the channel? It's
Yeah.
Intellectual Quandary.
Intellectual Quandary.
There we go. Which is Iman's
Yes.
initials. Iman's initials.
Well, I needed some sort of name that wouldn't immediately dox myself to anyone who doesn't know me.
Oh yeah, if you use your voice, you might dox yourself. But
Hey! I could be any posh, white-sounding Asian man. Fine.
Right. Slan, of course, has recently set up a channel where he's focusing on the sort of things that I've either missed or avoided. There's bits of sci-fi in there, and there's bits about S3 Expedition to the Barrier Peaks, which you all know is a module I really,
and French content.
Yeah, there is French content. There was
Yeah.
also a look through the first ever edition of Weird Tales as well. So if you want to catch up with what Slan's getting up to, have a look at Grumpy Old Slan. Anybody else in chat want to shout out your channel? You're more than welcome to do so. Just Nightbot might complain if you put a link up, though, unfortunately.
yeah, no, I'm too stupid to make a channel. So.
I know RPG Grandma was in earlier. RPG Grandma's got a channel. Anybody else with a channel been in? I don't think so. I can't go all the way back. But yes, we are just wrapping up now. So thank you, everybody in chat, for coming up with these ideas. I like these sort of streams where we just sort of spitball ideas and then try and make something cohesive out of them. And I think we have. I think we've got the bare bones of an interesting adventure. Just got to try and find some time to type it all up.
Have a good night, sir.
Right, but thanks you, Daniel. Thank you, Iman, and of course, thank you, Gingerbeard, for joining us tonight.
Grizzly, have a good night.
Cheers, fellas, and thank you, chat. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. I never show my own channel, really, do I much?
Smash that like button. Join the
Thank
Discord.
you, everyone.
Joining the Discord is the most important thing because we are here for gaming. We're here for gaming.
Yes, and check the events tab for upcoming sessions that are being run.
Upcoming sessions. Come and play games with us. If you like us, come and play games with us.
See, I'm learning the YouTube lingo.
Because I insist. Right. Cheers, fellas. I'll see you in the next stream.
Night all.
Good night.